Welcome to Elementary Music with Donna. I am Donna Rhodenizer. I have been doing videos about specific songs that you might do or activities that you might do with your beginning classes when you return to school in the fall with your students. However, I want to talk today about primary or kindergarten lesson plan elements. And I just want to talk about some things that I think are important to include in your planning. The songs you use as part of those elements, up to you, absolutely, as it always is. But when your students first arrive as very first time arrivals in the music room, you need to establish some routines, and I think one of the best things to do with them is get them involved. Now, some of them are going to be like, oh, it's all really strange and I don't want it. They've just gotten past I've been separated from my parents, and now I'm in a strange place, and they've just gotten over that initial shock. But then their classroom teacher comes and drops them at another new location and another new teacher and whatever. And so they may be a little bit freaking out at that point in time. So I have marches that I love to use. I have a bunch of marches that I use. I have actually I'm on the stage, so my kids come in a door and up the stairs and then into my classroom, so I just stick the music on and I meet them at the door and I say, come with me, follow me, and I just march. And so they're following. Usually the teacher comes with them the first day, so they're kind of making that line happen, because at kindergarten they don't even know how to make a line at that point in time, because they're kind of like herding flies or something. But so they're coming along and they're following me in a line. And within about 10 seconds, I will stamp my feet and I will go, loud, and I'll stamp my feet. Now, kids like to move to music, and all of a sudden they're allowed to be making noise when before they've been saying, oh, walk in a line and don't talk and sit down and all of that kind of stuff that we do in schools. And so all of a sudden they're making their feet loud, and we're walking around and around and around in a circle in the room. And then I go, shh, and then I'll tiptoe. So then it's sort of like, oh, we have to watch her. She's going to be a little bit tricky. So we go back and forth between loud and soft till they're all in. And if we get to a full circle and we're all in, we just keep going until the music stops. And it lasts about maybe a minute and a half. And then we're all in the music room. I've created marches for that purpose. You can use any march. The Sousa marches are wonderful. There's a whole ton of those out there. But if you would like to have a Donna Rhodenizer march, I have a march that I call September March. And if you would like a copy of that, send me an email, Donna@Elementary Music with Donna. And you don't even have to write me a long thing. I'm just writing the subject, September March, please, or something. Or you can write me a note. I'd love to know where you're teaching and what grades and something about you. But I will send you an MP3 of September March. And now this is done through my keyboard. It's not done in the studio. It's not a full, real marching band or anything. But it works really great with my students. And so we get them in, and before they know it, they're already moving. They're listening for loud and soft, which is one of our kindergarten and primary first year concepts, and they're in the room. And they kind of had a chance to do that without being a scary something entrance. Once they're in, I say, now we're all going to sit down. Now can you sit crisscross applesauce? So we sit on the floor, crisscross applesauce. I have a carpet that I have now that we sit around. Before I had the carpet, I just had a wooden floor. It was awful. And I took fingernail polish and drew some symbols in strategic spots around where they could find those spots and sit in. That would help me create the circle. I had a sharp, which they persist in calling a hashtag, of course, a heart, a square, a triangle, an X, a star, a treble clef sign. I think that was it. And I did dark red fingernail polish on a black floor, so you can see them when you're looking for them, but it's not like this horrible bright red circle on my floor when the older students are in, or when we're putting risers down and I don't want the circle there. So that works. So first element is movement, and something that will engage them right off the bat when they come in to my room. And then sitting, so I start the routine of that I want them to sit quietly. I talk about the fact that my piano can tell them to sit down even if I don't say anything. So there's a secret signal, and I just do, please sit down, please sit down, please sit down in your spot. And I can sing that, or I can play it, which is so, 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 do. And if I go over to the piano and play that at any time in any activity, even if it's loud, I can play that, saves my voice, and they know that's the sit back in the circle signal. And so I can practice that. So, okay, let's move everywhere. We can just move, 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 and I go da 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 on the piano, and they go sit down. So you can practice that. Again, these are things that will help you later in the structure of your class, but it feels to them like they're just playing. And on the first day, that's really what you want. On the first day, I also try to do some singing games that will help me with their names. So I've talked in a few videos just recently about going around the circle with a drum and just saying their names, if you can say their names. If on the first day they can't seem to get themselves pulled together to say anything to you, if you have a class list, you can actually just go down the list and have them just repeat, and then you can find who those kids are. And if you pick 5 or 6 names on the first day that you're going to really zero in, then the next day when they come, you've got 5 or 6 names already to sort of anchor that class and work your way out. You can try to do them all on the same day, and I can do about 2 classes of new names, and then after the third class I lose it and can't do any. So your brain can only stuff so many new things in there, you know. All right, let's review. See, I've already lost my train of thought. So they're coming in, they're moving, they're learning loud and soft at the same time. They are sitting crisscross applesauce. They've learned a secret signal to know when to do that, and I've done a few name things. I will do a movement song. At this point in time, you don't want to give them free rein to move anywhere loose and wherever they want, because they really don't know where those parameters are for them yet. So I will get them to stand up in the circle when they're moving and say, okay, move your hands, or move like you're doing static movement without going very far, and then we'll sit down. So I didn't make that clear before. So when they're moving and then I play the sit down music, they're not scattered around the room. Not yet. Too soon. So we will stand up and do a movement song that gives instructions. I've got an old record that I had when my kids were little. My kids are now all in their 30s almost. It's called Sesame Street Dance. And so it's just like, you know, wave your hands and touch your knees and turn around and clap your hands and pull your ears and that kind of stuff. You can do head and shoulders, knees and toes. You can do Elephants of Wrinkles, which is a great song. Susan and April and Susan. I think it's April and Susan did that a long time ago. I think that's also in Denise Gagne's music play, Movement Songs Children Love, I think. That's a great one because they just have to stand and be elephants, and then they have wrinkles on their nose and their ears and their hips and their knees and their toes, and so we do that one. So that's the kind of songs that you're doing all on the first day. I also practice saying, can you put up your hand? Okay, put your hand down, put your hand up, put your hand down. That's how you let me know that you want to say something. Let's practice some of that. And I'll say, can you put up your hand if you have a dog? So, and someone goes, I don't, just put up your hand. That's an answer. That means, yes, I have a dog, so put your hand down, okay? Put your hand up if you have a brother. Oh, no, I haven't, no, just put your hand up, just put your hand up. So you're already establishing that you have to not all talk at the same time, that I will listen or you will listen, and one person will talk, and that's the signals. And the other thing I do, which is just fun and silly for them, is we sit crisscross applesauce, and I'll get them to stick their legs out straight, and I'll say, now I'm going to say crisscross applesauce, and then I want you to fold up your legs as fast as you can. So ready? 3, 2, 1, crisscross applesauce, and they fold up their legs. I say, oh, that's great. Stick your legs out again. Crisscross applesauce, and they fold them up. So now I'm going to try to trick you. If I don't say crisscross applesauce, don't fold up your legs. So I'll say crisscross blueberries, and somebody will fold it. Oh, I got you. Put your legs back out. Crisscross rhubarb. Well, then less people get caught. And then crisscross applesauce. So they're already learning that there's going to be a sense of fun and a sense of play, but there's also organization, and there's also expectations and routines in the music classroom. Let them have a really good experience of having some fun and some moving and some interesting sounds and a sense of play, and they will find that music class is a safe and welcoming place for them to be, and they will love coming, and you will love seeing them, and you will have such great fun. It's so much fun doing all of the activities with those early and excited brand new students to our schools. So there's some ideas for your first day with your students in September. You can do that. I do that with grade 1s as well as review because they're sort of new. They have to get back into those routines, grade 1s, even up to grade 2. And grade 3, 4, 5, 6, I do similar things. We still move when we come in, but the activities that we do once we're in change. But I'll do another video on that on another day. Have a great day making music, and make music a great part of your day.